Good morning. I'm meteorologist Shane Hinton with your August 8th morning tropical update. Tropical Storm Debby officially made landfall in South Carolina, in Bull Bay, South Carolina, early this morning around 2 o'clock. As you can see, it is now heavily impacting both South and North Carolina. Those outer bands spinning up multiple tornado warnings already throughout parts of the Carolinas. Currently sustained winds 45 miles per hour, moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. As it moves further inland, it is going to start to fall apart, turn to a tropical depression, and then ultimately just a mass of tropical moisture. The latest forecast calling from the National Hurricane Center has it moving slowly over the next several hours. For perspective, right here is showing where it could be by 2 o'clock this afternoon. As we make our way into 2 o'clock Friday morning is when it will most likely be a depression at that point, starting to exit North Carolina and head into Virginia. A further look of the cone shows that it should quickly be picked up to the northeast, then making its way through the New England area, bringing quite a bit of rain to that part of the country. So I'm encouraging you to check with your airlines if you do have any travel plans out to that part of the country this weekend or over the next several days in general. Futurecast shows that those outer bands will eventually start to kind of fall apart a bit along with the center of the system itself, and that's when it just becomes a glob of rain, really, to break it down as simply as possible. That is going to bring some heavy to moderate rainfall stretching from New York all the way into parts of Canada. This is at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. As you can see, it will be a significantly calmer weather story for this part of the country, even as we make our way to the back half of the weekend. Now, in regard to rainfall, when all is said and done in South Carolina, we could have a total of up to 25 inches of rain for some locations. In North Carolina, estimates were showing totals maybe up to 15 inches when this system moves away. As you can see, extending all the way up to the northeast, it's showing a rainfall outlook averaging anywhere from just a half an inch for some areas further inland, to some areas picking up over 4 to 5 inches of rain in just a short amount of time, which is why we'll have to monitor the flood concern. Now, over the past several days, we have been monitoring that area that was in the Caribbean and was looking like it could make a run toward the southwestern Gulf of Mexico or the Bay of Campeche. It was gradually declining in its chances of development. That has since fizzled apart, and it is not going to develop anymore. However, we now have another area that's further out toward the east in the Atlantic. This has a 30% chance of development over the next 7 days. Earlier this morning in the first update from the National Hurricane Center, it was down to a 20% chance. So confidence has increased just within the past several hours of possible tropical development. Still very far out, but we'll keep our eyes on it for you and we'll provide updates. If it does become a named system, just as a reminder, we move on to the E name, which is Ernesto. We'll continue to track the tropics for you here in the KVUE Weather Center and provide updates on air and online.